baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you flip your hair gets me overwhelmed. But when you smile like this round and your heart is hell, you don't know, you don't know you're beautiful.
That's right, you don't know.
You don't know you're beautiful.
But I do know one thing.
What do you know?
That it is another episode of American
Brews
and
Tunes. Tunes, yeah, woo.
Tunes?
Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity-beeby-dow!
Wow, thanks again for joining us for another fun episode of American Brews and Tunes.
What's that you say? Another episode? Well, yes, it is another episode.
Yes, it is.
And it's another one in our one-off series.
That's correct, but this one is a
This
first.
is a very special episode.
Yeah, this is the first time we had someone request an album for us to do on a one-off.
It's crazy.
Shout out to Heidi Pawlikowski.
Howdy, Heidi.
Howdy, Heidi. Howdy, Heidi, indeed. For those of you who didn't listen to the last one-off episode, we talked about which one we're going to record on this, and it is an album by the pop artist Harry Styles.
Yes. From, if you don't know, he's from that one group.
I don't
which
know.
one?
I'm trying to figure out what direction to go with the name.
Yeah, I don't really know. Maybe just one. Like north or something.
Well, no, they've got probably just one direction.
It's definitely not multiple directions.
Just one direction.
Just one direction.
You guys.
Yeah, he's from the boy band One Direction.
Yeah, now he's solo.
Solo, which whenever Heidi first was like, you guys should review Harry Styles' new album.
I was kind of like,
I was like, huh? Maybe. And then I was like, we have to, because those are the rules we set down.
Those are the parameters in which we operate.
Any album that one of you, the listener, recommends to us, we have to listen to and review.
Yeah, even if it's terrible.
But, I mean, even if it's terrible, this will be fun. So,
yeah.
Whenever we set out on this new journey, the first journey of this type, of listening to an album recommended by a listener, I was a little bit nervous, because I was like, I don't really like One Direction that much.
I was nervous. I always wasn't like... I like their music. It's really catchy and whatnot.
Well, yeah.
But I never really... I was kind of like, it's a boy band, you know.
Yeah, well, it's just like...
In our good buddy / roommate, Johnny Miller, I think he's played for me some of their later stuff, and I think they actually have some cool sounding music that I never actually listened to.
Yeah.
Almost a little bit more like indie rock type stuff that found its way into the music.
Okay.
But again, I haven't listened to it too much, so I can't really speak. I just know the song that we played for the intro.
Yeah.
You don't know you're beautiful. Yeah. So I was nervous as well. I was like, uh-oh, boy band on the loose.
Now, before we go any further, boy band on the loose.
Yeah.
Solo boy band on the loose. That's kind of what I was expecting. I was like, oh, crap, it's going to be...
Like Justin Timberlake's first time. But I do like Justin Timberlake. But, you know, when he went solo, it was still it was really poppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, uh-oh, this might be interesting.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, Heidi recommended it.
So it'll be something, I guess.
It's going to be something.
But before we get into reviewing the music, let's go to the other portion of our podcast.
And now... we should say the other portion of the podcast is obviously beer.
It is.
Because you can't have the tunes without the brews, am I right?
You could, but what? Why?
Why? For real, though.
Why have beer if there's no music? And why have music if there's no beer?
And now...
which is very limiting, I suppose. If you really don't like beer, then...
you can still have music.
Yeah, and if you don't like music, you can still have beer.
I guess.
Or if you don't like either, just live your life. Do you?
Yeah.
If you don't like music and if you don't like beer, then you can listen to our podcast and listen to us enjoy it for you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean...
win-win for... everybody wins with that situation.
Everybody wins. That made me think of the Brian Fallon song, Nobody Wins.
Did you hear his new album? came out
come
today,
out?
yeah.
Oh, shoot.
It's really
I
good.
haven't.
And Will Farley's brand new album.
They both came out today.
Yeah. I was going to listen to Harry Styles all day, but I had to listen to those two.
I need to...
sorry for that gress.
Oh, that's a little bit of a gress.
Yeah.
A good gress.
Yes.
Nonetheless.
Yes.
But I digress. I digress.
Yes.
Let's get back to the brews portion
Yes.
of this episode.
So, as it is for all one-off episodes, Jesse and I are drinking the same beer.
Yes.
And this is not a English brew. Like American brew this week. It's
right.
from Scotland,
well, because since Harry Styles is from England, but this is a brewery from Scotland.
And there's not too many. I don't know if I know any other Scottish breweries.
Same here. So if you know craft beer, you most likely know what brewery we're talking about.
Yeah.
But for those who do not, this is a beer from Innis and Gunn.
Yes.
Innis and Gunn.
I've tasted a couple of their beers before, but actually, it might have only been one beer that if I can remember correctly.
I had one from them, and it was very good.
Yeah. This one that we're having right now is the Bourbon Aged Dark Ale.
Yeah.
So
I believe on Untapped it calls it a wee heavy ale, something like that,
like a Scotch wee
like
heavy.
A Scotch ale, yeah.
Yeah. So
now I'm kind of excited for this. Just a side note, I really like their logo.
It is a cool logo. It's really classy.
And this one in particular, the main color besides the gold is purple.
It's like a dark kind of subtle. I don't know, subtle, but like a dark purple. It's not like really flashy. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's more like plum.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah,
it's not like regal purple like Barney.
Yeah, but a little bit more about this beer. This is the details on Untapped, which, by the way, is the best social media beer app. They are not a sponsor, but we really
not
like
a sponsor
the app.
yet.
Not a sponsor yet.
Is it the same thing that it says on the back here? This very special dark ale has been brewed in small batches and then matured over oak, seasoned with finest American bourbon to give it its rich, rounded character and satisfyingly smooth finish.
Now, this Untapped one says a little bit more.
Oh, what else does it say?
After that, it says, notes of brown sugar, orange oil, and coconut are complemented by an earthy freshness from the hops and the 30 days the beer's spent in oak.
Interesting.
So those are kind of three interesting ingredients that I would not expect in this: brown sugar, orange oil, and coconut.
The brown sugar I can kind of see. The coconut throws me off, and the
orange oil.
Oil, yeah.
Which I mean, either way, I'm excited.
I'm excited to try this too,
because from what I've had from them, I've liked, and this one, I mean, anything you age in a oak barrel is probably going to be good.
Probably, but not always.
Not anything, of course, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, like pickle juice. But enough about pickle beer. Let's crack these and try it.
Enough about pickle beer.
Here, have a bottle opener.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Can I hold that for you, sir? Okay.
Oh, I can smell this already.
Can I hold that for you, sir? Okay.
I wouldn't say it's like a very... Like, normally when you open a beer, I'd imagine hop smell, but this has got like a dark malty smell almost to it.
Yeah.
Which I suppose makes sense.
I'm a little bit stuffed up, so I can't really smell it too well.
Well, why don't you pour it in the glass and see if that
if I get if I get one of my nostrils directly above the bottle and smell, then I can smell it.
Yeah.
It kind of has like a nice, almost
a little bit of dark fruit flavor in there. Smell.
Yes,
I would agree. A little dark fruit on the nose.
On the nostril.
It's pretty dark, similar to some of the porters we've had on here. It's not like the thick black that you get from those intense stouts, but it's definitely dark. If you hold it up to a light,
you can see through it.
You can see through it, and it's still dark, but you can see through it a little bit.
I mean, that's normal for a wee heavy. It's not going to be as thick as a stout.
It's only a wee bit heavy.
It's only a wee bit heavy.
Well, that's Irish. How do we do Scottish? A wee bit heavy.
It's only a wee bit heavy. These are really bad Scottish accents right now.
Sorry. I can't.
Sorry, Scotland.
Get in my belly. It's a wee bit heavy.
He's going to try to do like Shrek. We don't need to get back into Shrek though.
Donkey. No, let's get it. Let's cheers this and give it a try. I'm ready.
All right, sounds good.
And ooh. It's a little bit more subtle than I was thinking, actually.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't punch me in the face like I thought it would.
That's really drinkable, though.
It is very drinkable. It's super smooth, and it's pretty sweet up front, in the way that beer can be sweet from the malts.
Yeah, I would say this is not at all what I expected.
Me neither. As far as the barrel aged, I can almost taste it a little bit on the back of my tongue, out like after the swallow.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it was only aged in the barrels for 30 days, so I think that has something to do with it. Mm-hmm. It's very subtle.
Yeah, this is a very smooth beer. I was thinking it was going to be a lot heavier.
Yeah, this is.
I like it a lot.
Really, really good.
I would have this over most lagers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a very good beer.
It was $10 for a 4-pack, so that's not that bad. I'm going to
Yeah.
give this a 4 on Untapped.
I would have this again, in all honesty. It's very tasty.
I'm going to say very drinkable.
You should say that. For those of you who follow Jesse on Untapped, you'll be able to read his review, which says very drinkable.
I think one person has added me
Somebody added me.
since we made that one episode.
Yeah,
where
add
he
us.
said, add us. Add us on Untapped.
Yeesh.
Was it an episode or was it an Instagram photo? I can't really remember.
It was. You're right. It was an Instagram photo. You're like, follow us. These are
If you so wish.
These are our Untapped handles.
This is very, very good, man.
I would definitely get this
Like,
again. I
in
think it's
terms
very
of-
smooth.
In terms of beers, I would say this is up there for me.
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about this.
True. Like, it's not lacking in anything for me right now.
It's sweet, but not overly sweet.
It has a really nice
I would like a
malty-
little bit more bourbon flavor. But
Yeah, but I mean-
it's there. I can still taste it, but I've had bourbon barrel aged beers that it's almost too much, and it tastes like you're drinking straight liquor without the burn.
Yeah, this is less liquory and more woody.
Yes,
Does that
that's a
make
good way to
sense?
describe it. Yes.
It's
It's a winner.
I mean, good job,
winner in my
Innis
book.
Gunn. That's delicious. Oh yeah, on the aftertaste, you can kind of get a little bit of that warmness.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
But I agree with you. The woodiness comes through,
Yeah,
especially on the aftertaste. I would say.
So if you guys get a chance, pick up this beer.
Yeah. Or anything from Innis Gunn.
Yeah, they're a solid brewery.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what? I'll go out on a limb and say this is in my top 50 breweries.
Okay, that's
kind of a lot, but
there's a lot of breweries.
I'd probably say from what I've had from them, probably the top 25.
That must be a load-bearing limb that you went on.
Yeah, it very much is.
That's fine.
I went like one step out on the limb, and that's
Like
it.
the limb that's almost as wide as the trunk.
That's almost exactly. It's like the limb that's closest to the base
Yeah.
of the tree.
The one that people hang tire swings from.
Yeah, that's the one that I was on, and I was
Okay.
like, all right, I'll take one step out.
All right, well, shall we go to the music?
Yeah, why don't we? Let's get into the album that Heidi Pawlikowski recommended.
It's the self-titled debut from Harry Styles. Like we said before, he's from One Direction. And do you know much about One Direction's origin?
I do not know about their origin. No.
They started on the TV show The X Factor. I believe that British talent show.
Oh.
And from my understanding, I think there's 5 members. All 5 of them auditioned individually.
Okay.
And then I don't know if any of them like moved on, but someone's like, you guys should just audition
Form
together, form a little boy band.
Huh.
And so they did, and they ended up finishing, I think, definitely in the top 10, maybe like the top 5. I think maybe 3rd or 7th. Like, I can't remember which. I saw it earlier and I forget.
Okay.
But they definitely placed, and then Simon Cowell signed them to a label.
Okay.
And then they started
As you
making
would.
music.
As you would, yeah.
And touring, and they got huge.
Wow.
So it worked out
Well,
well
that's
for
pretty
them.
interesting.
They made 5 albums, and then they went on hiatus, and a lot of them did their solo thing. Like, I don't know if you've heard of the member Zayn Malik. I think I'm pronouncing his name correct. I remember he was the first one to have a solo album, but his was a lot more electronic and different sounding.
Huh.
I wasn't a huge fan of it, but that's really not my cup of tea. So
Yeah.
I'm not good enough to judge whether it's good or not. I don't know.
So whereas he went more electronic, Harry Styles went more what?
The album's a little eclectic, but I would say more rock and roll.
Yeah, I would say
more
like pop rock.
organic rock.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
A lot more acoustic stuff than I was expecting.
Yeah, that's what I mean by organic. Like, definitely not like the overproduced, like not that much synths or electronics influence at all.
Yeah.
So it took me by surprise. Shall we delve in?
Yes.
All right. The very first song is called "Meet Me in the Hallway," and I recommended it, and I gave it a rating of high and tight. Do you know what that is? It's a hairstyle.
Hair style? Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh man, I'm sure you've seen it before. It's a very common one.
That's like what I used to have.
Yeah, it's a lot of hipsters sport this look.
Yeah, many have called me a hipster, so you know.
And this is kind of a really interesting hip song almost.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
It took me by surprise, especially as being the album opener.
Yes.
Because before I listened to the album the whole way through, I previewed some tracks on iTunes, and I remember hearing some like really like rock stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, I'm about to be blasted with rock on this first track. Nope.
Nope.
Not at all. It's so different. A lot more stripped back and almost kind of like funky sounding parts.
A lot of some of the other songs are also very funky sounding.
True. But I figured maybe like he wanted to show that this like because this one I'd say sounds different than any other song on the album, and so like by putting one of the more different songs up front, he's saying I'm different from my past. Like it's going a different style maybe.
Yeah, I definitely think that is what this album says. Like he's starting down a new path
For sure. Also, did you see the album artwork? I'm sure you have.
Yes, I have.
It's his naked back
with a necklace.
Necklace. He looks like he's
couple of
standing
little-
or sitting in a shower. Maybe
A couple of little tattoos.
standing in a shower, perhaps.
Maybe he's in a cave.
Do you know what he should have titled this?
What, back?
Parentheses naked, and then end parentheses back to basics. Because he's going back to his rock favorites. Because I did read somewhere that he kind of like the rock music or early on that was his thing.
Okay.
So back to basics.
Oh gosh.
Oh goodness.
Nice
The first
joke.
thing that
Nice
struck me
joke.
in this was the chords, and there's a bass line, and it reminded me of "Ramble On" by Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
Bum 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 bum, because the bass does that line while the chords are playing.
Yeah.
But then very quickly, it's nothing like "Ramble On."
Right,
Just
yeah.
that one little line. That's the first thing I thought of. But the verses are I think about trying to connect with somebody.
Yeah, I would say
the
before
past?
before you go on, I would say a lot of the songs have to do with relationships or
A failed relationship, trying to make it
failed
reconnect.
relationship, trying to make it reconnect about a woman that he knows isn't good for him, but he still really likes and
Yeah.
whatnot. And so, very much a relationship centered theme to this album.
Agreed. But the chorus, I think, is my favorite part. The verses are fine, but the melody sold me on the first listen, which is not always the case
Wow.
for me. Like I heard that
That's huge for you.
yeah, especially he writes
Dang.
catchy music, but like the first time I heard the melody and the chorus, I was like, oh, I like this a lot. So I thought that was pretty cool. And there's these guitar arpeggios going on in the chorus that have like a really odd, funky sound, and it almost sounds like either two guitar parts are playing in octaves, or maybe a 12-string guitar. I couldn't really peg the
If I had
sound.
if I had to guess, I would say it's probably a slight, like a very, very. If they were using an octave pedal, it's very, very, very slight. Like very. Slight's not the right word. What word am I looking for here?
not.
It's very,
it's subtle.
Very subtle.
Yeah, that's a
what
better
it
word.
is, Yep.
I don't know. I just really liked it, and I thought it was a really interesting way to start the
Well,
album.
yeah. For me, this song, it was like you said earlier, it was like a statement.
Yes.
You know, because like most people, well, besides the singles that he released, which were Sweet Creature,
Sign of the Times.
Sign of the Times. Yep.
Yeah. The only other thing I really have to say, like in conclusion about this song, like stylistically and all around, I thought it was cool and hip, whereas others may say high and tight. I just thought it was a really cool way to start the album because it was.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's unexpected, but for me, like even having to listen to a couple songs before going in, it was still unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Definitely.
it was definitely a cool song. Recommended.
Nice.
Anything else to say about this one?
Nope.
On to song number 2, which is called "Sign of the Times."
The best song on the album for me.
Whoa! So I'm assuming you recommended it?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Yeah, I did. It's without a doubt the best song on the album.
I wanted to honorable mention it, but I ended up not giving any honorable mentions because it was
Okay.
between this and one other honorable mention, and I couldn't pick, so I just didn't.
Really?
Yeah, but I gave this a rating of Pompadour.
Pompadour.
Yeah, because it's pretty epic song, and I just
very-
imagine this guy with this big pompadour like singing it.
Nah,
That's what I imagine.
I don't imagine that.
Well, our imaginations differ.
Imagine that. We don't imagine the same things.
It's a good song though. It's really good.
Yeah, I think it's a super good song. Just the reason that I really like this song is because of the way that it's structured, the music, the way when he chooses to use falsetto instead of full voice,
yeah,
and then as it comes to the climax and the bridge, then
crescendo's
he goes,
big time.
He goes absolutely full voice,
Big time.
big time, big time,
time.
man.
Harry Styles, big time on the vocals.
And just in general, the whole melody, like you said for the first song, like the melody,
Caught you.
and yeah, it just caught me like immediately. I was like, this song is really good. So for me, I was not expecting to hear a song like that on a solo
this-
album from Harry Styles.
Yeah. Also, I think it's the only piano-driven song.
Yeah,
There's keys on other songs, pianos on other songs, but this is it's definitely up front. Like this is a piano. I don't want to say ballad, but almost ballady until it
it's
gets
kind
big.
of almost a ballad.
Until
yeah.
it gets big. It crescendos a lot, and I almost gave this a rating of Art Garfunkel Fro.
Oh.
Just because I was going to say it almost likened to Bridge over Troubled Waters.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to make that connection.
Yeah.
I thought that could be a bit of a stretch.
Okay.
And I thought that they were different enough that I didn't want to do that. It did
but-
have a cool 70s pop feel to it. Like it gets huge after the crescendo.
That's yeah, I just thought I was like really taken aback whenever I first listened to it, because I had a lot of expectations already set in my mind, because like I know One Direction a little bit,
Yeah.
so I was like, oh man, this is gonna be kind of weird and
Boy bandy.
but this song was like, wow, that's awesome.
It's like a well-written,
Yeah, like a
mature song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's all I have to say about that song, but definitely recommend that song.
All right, so moving on, song number 3 is called Carolina,
It's just a sign of the times. Da, da, da.
which is from the last song, not from Carolina.
No,
You just
Carolina. Next
Carolina?
song, Carolina.
More like she's a good girl, because he says that a lot.
She's a good girl.
I gave this a rating of perm because perms are
Perm.
kind of odd. The song's a little odd. It's catchy.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
like the chorus
it
isn't
definitely
bad.
is catchy.
He says she's a good girl a lot, but I really like the verses.
Okay.
Mainly like it's either guitar bass line that and the mixed with the drums. It reminded me of the instrumental feel of that song "Stuck in the Middle." Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. I don't know if you can remember what like the guitar like bass line and drums sound like in the verse, but almost. And that even might be a stretch, but for some odd reason I thought of that, and
Yeah.
it kind of made me want to like bounce around while I was listening to the verses.
Okay, yeah. I mean, same way that you thought of that, and Sign of the Times, I thought of Adele's song. Never mind, I'll find someone like you.
Carolina, it was a good song. A
Agreed.
little odd, but good.
Agreed.
I like the verses way more than the chorus, but that's all right. It's a good song all around.
Okay.
On to song number 4, which is called Two Ghosts.
Two Ghosts. Yep.
I gave this a rating of bald, like Casper.
Oh gosh.
Get it?
Oh yeah.
Like Casper.
Two ghosts.
Not bald like a sad way, but bald because you're a ghost and you don't have hair. Oh, man.
How do you know? Ghosts maybe have hair.
Well, that's why I said
Casper doesn't.
Yeah, I specified so that there was no confusion.
True.
Another failed relationship song?
Yeah, I kind of like the lyrics in this song. I was talking about like,
yeah,
we're just two ghosts dancing in a half glass full, half glass empty.
something like that. But the words are why I like the song more than the actual music itself.
Agreed.
Like the main line in the chorus is, "We're not who we used to be. We're just two ghosts standing in the place of you and me, trying to remember how it feels to have a heartbeat."
Yeah.
So I like the lines. It's really it's a pretty emotional song, but it's good. Musically, it was fine. I think the lyrics were strong though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the reason that I liked it as well.
Yeah. Anything else?
That's it, man. On to the next song.
Song number 5, which is called "Sweet Creature." It was almost my other honorable mention, but since I didn't do that, I didn't. Instead, gave it a rating of long hair, in the vein of hippies, like hippie girls, like the Flower Child. You know, like that long, free flowing, free hair.
Yeah,
just that.
The flowers in it.
Yeah,
I recommended the song.
I liked it a lot, but there was a couple other songs.
I liked it. I just like the hook of it. The hook.
Sweet creature,
sweet creature,
sweet creature.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. And that last line right there, the guitar chord, where it's like a dominant 7 almost.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of the song.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the reason why I recommended it, is because it's just so golden catchy.
And it also reminds me a little bit of Blackbird. Just one of the guitar lines.
Right.
Dun, dun, dun. And it's just a very small part, but it reminds me of Blackbird, and I like it.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. It's a good song. It's a really catchy song. Stripped back and kind of soft.
I found that I like those songs on this album better, the ones that are stripped back, more acoustic, except for Sign of the Times.
Fair enough, because we're about to go the opposite direction, stripped back.
We are.
With song number 6, which is called Only Angel. I gave this a rating of long hair.
Again?
With a bandana.
Oh!
Like Bret Michaels.
Just
from the
slightly
band
different.
Poison.
Okay.
Or Rock of Love if you like VH1 reality TV shows.
Okay.
Anyways, here's what I have to say. Rock and roll has arrived.
The next stop on, as you can see on your left, rock and roll has arrived. So if you're getting off here, exit to your right.
But if it was a bus ride, we went through like a little flower meadow right before getting to rock and roll, because it has about like 30 to 40 seconds of this like soft sounding music.
Oh yeah, right at the beginning.
With in the background you hear him doing the woohoo, like that little bit, and then all of a sudden the rock and roll arrives. he does like a little scream type thing.
Like, yeah!
And then the guitar comes in. And like most of the other songs, it reminds me of an old song again.
Okay.
ZZ Top's "Give Me All Your Lovin'."
Okay.
But this like heavy rock guitar comes in, and he has this woo-hoo.
Yeah.
And that the woo-hoo kind of gives it like a little bit of poppiness that I think the song needs.
Okay.
In a really like catchy, awesome way. The song's for falling about a girl who's definitely bad news.
Yes.
It's very, very clear. Even though in the chorus he says that she's an angel, but the rest of the song's about like about how not good she is.
But what is it like? He's like, she's terrible, but I also really like that about her, or something like that. Is
Yeah,
that
I
the
kind of
song?
like it.
Isn't there a different song that talks about that too?
That's the next song.
Is that? Oh yeah, Kiwi. Yeah, that's the next song. Yeah.
But he definitely is talking about how she will lead him down a dark path, but
Yeah.
he can't help it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just have to say I think this is like a song, like rock song straight from the 70s.
Okay. Yeah.
I like it a lot. This is what I would have expected to be at the beginning of the album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like this kind of song. And it makes me think, I can't believe there's only one song like this when it's so good.
Did you recommend this song?
I did. Long Hair with Bandana recommendation.
Oh.
But like I was saying, I can't believe that there's only one great rock song like this.
But wait, there's
But
more.
wait! Song number 7, entitled Kiwi, is another rock song.
What?
And it's my third recommendation.
Okay. Wow, you really went with the rock ones.
Well, other than the first song on the album, these are the two that struck me first.
Okay.
Just because of the rock and the catchiness.
That's where
So-
we're different.
But like I said, the first song's so different. So for that to have that and then two rock songs, it's out there. But song number 7, Kiwi, I gave it a recommendation, and I gave it the rating of Mohawk because it's got a lot more.
Mohawk.
It's a little more aggressive than the last rock song.
Yeah,
I'd say.
I would say so.
Like I said, it's still like a 70s, 80s rock song, and it almost like in the style of Jet, like the first Jet album. It kind of
Okay.
reminds me of that. Like "Are You Gonna Be My Girl" type music.
Yeah.
It's thematically almost the same as the last song, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
There's that one part in the chorus where the girl talks about "I'm having your baby."
yeah.
It's none of your business.
yeah,
I'm trying to like.
I was like, what?
It's none of your business. Like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? I'm having your baby. It's none of your business.
It's clearly my business, lady.
Yeah, like there's got to be some reason why you put that in there. I just don't really know why. But
Who knows?
it's interesting. I don't know if it's really a deep song unless it's like part of a larger concept for the whole album.
Yeah.
It's got a good breakdown. I just think it's a fun song, so that's why I liked it. But enough about that.
Next song,
Song number 8 is called "Ever Since New York."
my last recommendation.
Interesting. It's just another slow song.
Yeah, exactly. So the slow songs in this album are the ones that struck me the most. Yeah. Just because I don't know, it's difficult to do a slow song well.
Agreed. And they
Does
do
that
it well
make
here.
sense? Yeah.
It's slow, like it's different than a long.
And
Like
those
those rock songs that gave long haircuts, right?
Yeah.
So this one, like since they slowed it down, I gave it a buzz cut.
A buzz cut.
Take the long rock and you buzz it down.
Okay.
Now it's a slow and somber song.
I would maybe do this. I would say this. Long hair,
Rock and
but
roll.
braided.
Oh, interesting.
French braid.
Oh, French braid. I was gonna say
Or
pigtails
a
or
fishtail braid.
or ponytail, fishtail. Okay.
Fishtail braid, yeah.
I don't know what fishtail braid is, but I know what a French.
You know
braid is.
Legolas's hair in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Fishtail braid.
Okay, interesting.
Anyway, enough about hair and Legolas.
Yeah.
Um,
Forget the hair. Let's talk about
this
Harry.
song. Let's talk about Harry. This song, I mean, just like the type of finger picking in it
Yes.
is great.
Yes.
Just like the other song. Which one was it? Sweet Creature?
Yes. Sweet Creatures is stripped back with
So
the finger picking.
that's one of the things that struck me on both of them. But that's pretty much all I have to say on that song.
Okay. I liked it. I thought it was a good song too.
I mean, that's really all it is with these songs. Is like some of them just struck me because I was in a place before I listened to it. I was like, I'm not gonna like this. I'm not gonna, like want to listen to this more than once.
But
and I found myself wanting to listen to it more than once.
so we should always go into music with an open mind.
Exactly, and that's exactly what this show is about.
Yeah. You learned a valuable lesson, Jesse.
Well, it's not only a show, a podcast.
Podcast is a show.
Okay, that's what this
Podcast show.
pod show is about.
Okay.
That's what this podcast is about.
Yeah, but
It's
I like
about
that.
broadening your musical horizons and learning to, take in different music styles that you might not be comfortable with.
Agreed. On to the penultimate song.
Yes.
Number 9 is called Woman.
I like this song a lot.
I do too. It's funky.
So honorable mention.
I needed to give it like a funky hairstyle, like Princess Leia's hair buns. I mean, it kind of looks like 2 donuts on her head. Or headphones, I guess, depending on...
Kind of funky.
Yeah.
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs. Which
Earmuffs
would make you
which
listen to this stuff? I don't know. Enough about that.
No.
Like I said, it's funky sounding, and it almost reminded me of Benny and the Jets.
Okay.
Because there's piano again, and just the
that,
kind of
I
a feel.
Benny and the Jets.
But there's that la 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 part.
I love that.
It's so out there.
It reminded me of reggae.
Okay, I can see that.
Is what it reminded me of.
It's another very different sounding song.
Yeah.
But I don't really have much to say other than that.
Same here.
Good
song. Honorable mention.
The last song number 10, is called From the Dining Table, and I gave it the haircut of a page boy.
I gave it a bowl cut.
That's pretty much the same thing. You know what the page boy haircut?
No, I know what a bowl cut is, though.
Remember, like a squire or page following a knight around.
Yeah, a bowl
like
cut.
goofy, like
well, their
little
haircut
puffed out.
Is just straight.
Almost
not even
monk-like.
like it's not a bowl. Like it doesn't go all the way. Well, no, it is a bowl cut.
Kind of.
So it's
So it's pretty similar haircuts.
all it is just this. Picture this. That's all it is.
Okay, picture that sound.
Well, you all know what a bowl cut is.
It's probably the saddest song on the album, this one.
Yeah.
Most reflective and sad. It's about a post-breakup, and he's lonely, like getting drunk in hotel rooms at like noon.
Yeah, whenever I heard that, I was like, wow, Harry Styles
Dark,
is getting real right now.
And he's got that one line, even my phone misses your call.
Yeah.
And again, it's another stripped-back song, like the vocals and acoustic. Definitely a sad one. There's some little cliches here, but I can get past that because I think it's a nice song.
You know what? I also think it is. But just to wrap up our thoughts on this album, it's a 10-song album.
I don't really dislike any songs.
Same.
I can listen to it the whole way through and be happy.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
You know, there's like a wizardry to doing that, like a magic thing, so that when you think about this, you're like, "You're a wizard, Harry." I was playing this joke all day. I could tell from your eyes when I was setting up that you didn't know where I was going. It paid off.
Whenever you started saying that, whenever you were like, "There's a magic to doing this, to making all songs catchy," I was like, he is building up to a stupid joke right now.
It was a great joke. You're a wizard, Harry.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not a wizard. I'm just Harry. Just
and that's
Harry.
the thing. He ditched One Direction, and he's just Harry.
Yes, he is just Harry now. He is a wizard.
I think this, but seriously, I think this album's got a lot of the quote-unquote replay factor. Like I would listen to this again.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, honestly, sign of the times. I would put that on any playlist.
It's a very good. I agree. It's a top-notch song.
It's one of those songs that you're like, this is just a power ballad, if that's the right word for it.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to hear what he comes out with in the future. Actually.
Exactly. That's what I was actually about to say. Is that it seems that with this album, he's kind of finding his footing.
Yeah,
he's like figuring out what he wants to do musically, and so I'm kind of excited to see what he does in the future.
I am too, and I actually kind of want to go back and listen to some of the last few One Direction albums just to kind of check it out and see.
So, in summation about this album, it has broadened. I'm assuming it's broadened your musical horizon as well.
It has.
It's broadened mine.
It broadened your mind.
It did, yeah. So again, shout out to Heidi for recommending this album for us.
And if any of you want to recommend an album for us to do for a one-off, send us an email at americanbrewsandtunes@gmail.com or send us a message or anything on any of the social medias. American Brews and
Facebook,
Tunes.
Twitter, Instagram. Send us a DM on any of those.
We'd love to listen to new music. It's great.
Yeah, it's definitely a great growing experience, and also just like we said before, broadening your horizons.
So this is episode number 31. Upcoming next week for episode 32, we're going to have a fun rap album. I think we talked about that last episode, so I'm listening to an album by Brother Ali called
Morning in America, Dreaming in Color, I believe is what it is.
And you were listening to the Beastie Boys...
Message to the Five Boroughs.
Just to the Five Boroughs.
To the Five Boroughs, yeah.
So that'll be that. And then for episode 33, since it's another repeat number, it's going to be a repeat episode where we revisit artists from a previous episode.
Yep. New albums, but previous artists.
So we'll figure that out. Other than that, this was a really fun episode.
It was. It definitely
Before we finish our beers, do you think the flavor changed at all? I think the bourbon/wood flavor comes through a little bit more.
You know what? I would agree with you. I would say not only does the wood flavor come through more, but that dark fruit flavor also comes through more.
I was going to say the exact same thing, like the plum raisin type flavor.
Yes.
All right. Well, what do you say we finish these and sign off for the week?
Sounds good.
Okay, then.
Let's sign off.
A delicious beer, a great album, and a fun episode. Thanks again. My name is Steven Johnston.
And my name is Jesse Titus.
And this is American Brews and Tunes.
Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity-beeby-da!